where you are standing, where you are now is called ground zero or point zero. Have you heard that thing before? Yes. Now, what it just means is the first point of contact either for the victim or exposure to the pathogen or to the virus. So the first place where it was recorded, the first place, just like we say Wuhan, right? In China, right? So that's the point zero. So everybody points back to point zero. In any case, what happened here is what we are talking about. Because what happened here affected every other person. Maybe the person didn't die of maybe knife or blood. Maybe the person had some kind of flu attack, maybe poison attack, something. But the person is now dead. This is the object of the crime or object of the surveillance. And that's where your ground zero or point zero is. Does that make sense? Good. Now, there are 4 levels, and then the 5th level, you can hear me, right? The 5th level of you being able to do forensic analysis. The first level is you have a crime scene, and you saw it first. And the other, probably you have a medical degree, as you're getting now. You now finished up as a forensic nurse, or you went ahead to do pathology, or you went ahead to become a coroner. In that case, you can look at crime scene, or look at dead bodies, or look at people that were poisoned, right? And you're able to make your first observation, diagnosis, and recommendations. They're coming for summer holiday program. Okay, now, first thing you do is to cordon off. It's called to cordon off, to separate where the ground zero happened in your own thinking and the other parts of the environment. If you have watched movies or CSI or series, you will hear when they say lockdown 8 blocks, right? Now, you might not have a large tape to tape around 4 streets, but once that happens, you see policemen standing at corners of the streets, showing you that they'll tell you, no, don't come close. Why? Once you have a ground zero, you don't want to introduce any other evidence or specimen or sample to the crime scene or the exposure zone. Are we together? Now, the first one is when police come or when forensic analysts come, they bring out a caution tape. That's level 1 biosafety. The caution tape says proceed with caution. In any case, from what has happened, there is no poisonous gas here. The active shooter has gone. Maybe 2 of them have died. Nothing is happening actively again. Proceed with caution. The next level is danger. Maybe they are still looking for who committed this crime, or who poisoned him, or whoever is actively contributing to what is making this crime zero a place of target. Are we following? So, danger says approach carefully, but there is danger, which means at this level, you are either now a security officer or somebody who is authorized to go with one. Maybe there's a place you need to go and collect an extra sample. I don't know if how many of you have watched them. What do you call it? CSI, Miami, different. Sometimes they will now go with the analyst who collect, then they will go and protect him, right? Maybe there's an active shooting going on, or the killer, the assassin, or the sniper is still somewhere. Out there and all of that. Now look at what happens. You see, you've not stepped in yet. Why? Even your shoe has prints that might contribute to this evidence, as you will see here. So if there are footprints we are testing, you're not permitted to come in. So in your car, as an analyst, you have shoes cover. Sorry. Now the next level is when there is radiation or toxic substances. Now the colors of the tapes differ. You get to orange, which is the third one. Hopefully we'll find it because of this thing needs a lot of vision. You get orange, where you see where the juice called and bone, right? Which means beyond danger, the next is instant death. So if you're not wearing a gas mask or an N95 mask or they're not covering properly, either that something will cause death that is given. So the tape will tell you how to proceed. So once you come in and you see the tape, either you go back and dress up properly, or you avoid the crime scene or the point zero. Are we together? Then the next one is when you have what's the next one now? I think that's number 4. Inflammable level 4. That means something is still exploding, maybe a landmine or something. And those ones usually they use robots and technology because you don't know where to step. Let's say that happened some years ago when Nigerian army were ambushed, right? Now it was horrible because some people lost their legs, but see what lack of training does. When I was watching that video, I saw where they put a signboard, beware of mines, and they drew a sign which is like Pokemon, 2 like X, right? If you have played game enough, all of it, you yourself will know. But they drove into it, and the place exploded. Some of them lost their legs. I mean, in Bruno, we are fighting. But you see, that's what training helps you to do. Me that has played game and just have sense, right? I will watch signs before I go to ask. If I am approaching a lonely place, the first thing is to proceed with caution or a crime scene. Are we together? Now, the other level, we will discuss that in advanced forensics. Now, the next thing now is you are ready to come in. Usually, you have your own small box. Just like as a nurse, you have your own first aid kit. But as a person, you have your own small box. One is that you want to be able to take a very good picture first. Sometimes there is mago somehow. Maybe this thing will come to your crime lab. It will come to your lab later. However, please can you pick out this thing, this little thing for me? Yeah, just pick it out so that you can do it by yourself. However, you want to be sure that when you came into this crime scene, you know what you saw before you call the police, right? Because sometimes the police is involved. Sometimes the person who you are trying to nail is actually working with you. But if you notice, sometimes you see some movie, the person will come and just take a picture and hide his phone back. That's the first thing you want to do. There are 5 steps actually. Are we together? The first thing you want to do is to first of all observe. We'll talk about when we get into class. You will observe, you will examine, investigate, take a picture, and then before you begin to process this entire crime scene. Why is the picture very important? Is that if you go back to your lab and this bottle is not a part of evidence, then you begin to question why was this bottle removed? Was it deliberate or is not important? Because that might just be the only thing showing the criminal for the crime scene. It might be that they cleaned out one shoe this thing. My picture shows that this thing is here. Somebody wiped it. So it means that this footprint, the person, the suspect, is here. He came here. For him to be able to be missing, because you're taking the earliest pictures. Now you have now gotten another picture or set of evidence and you can't find it. Are we together? Now, somebody to Pin, please can you get me with your precious? I don't have to come on the gym. Please come in. We'll give you hand gloves and things as you go inside and all of that. Don't go far, just surround the gate. Now, please, no, don't come too close now. You don't want this thing to be part of the crime scene. Some of you, your shoe is looking like the one that is there. The next thing now is you be the person. And just like yesterday, I got blood this thing on my clothes yesterday, right? So people were saying that, well, I'm part of it. And it's true. Not that you have to explain yourself. So normally, see that clothes becomes part of the evidence for the crime scene. Okay, group 1, table leader. Just step forward. Group 1. I thought you have like a table 1, sorry. How many tables do we have inside? From different levels. Okay, step forward. Just what's the level? Okay? Okay? It's not the level now. Step forward. Count. Come on. You know what? In your group. You know, next thing say that. 12. Okay. All right, please, where is the yellow card? Thank you. Okay. I'll give you this. 12 to present them just for presentation's sake. And anybody wants to go with it. Okay, I'll give you. I think. Yeah. All right. Okay. So what you have in your hand are called evidence tags or evidence markers. Now the idea is that you came to a crime scene. Remember, everybody will see different things, right? Yesterday there was hair. Who took it out? Huh? Go and bring your hair. Go and find it. Queen, who took out the hair? Was it your hair? Vanessa, you want to help us? Go ahead, I want to do that sometime. Like a strand. Strand, okay. Go ahead like this. Okay, alright. So you came to a crime scene, right? Now, like I said before, everything is an evidence. Because something leads to something, you just keep connecting the dots. Now, what you have in your hand, count the number of supposed evidence. Remember, you can go back to your picture and say, I didn't notice that. For instance, now, his leg is covering this footprint, right? Maybe after you didn't notice, so you didn't tag it. After you go to the picture, you can request to go back to the crime scene to tag it and get an updated picture. Are we together? Because we are tagging evidence as it appears, which is why by technology, we no longer do this after the crime scene has been processed. You will now go to your crime simulation room and throw everything to the screen. So if you watch high-tech movies and all of those things, that they now use their hand to separate the pictures and start matching the pictures that you made alike and all of that. That's what they are not. They are not tagging the evidence to the picture number they have collected. So what I gave you, I think, is all of you. I think we have about 14, 15 tags or thereabouts. Okay, so I would want you to tag something that you think is important to this crime scene. Number one. Number two, while you are tagging, you will write down behind your notes, what do you think the summary of this crime scene is? If you have watched some of those CSI, you will say episode 1, murder at street 4, right? What do people watch? Because when people are taking anime. Okay, so you will get to hear or see the episode, right? The episode is a summary of the crime that was solved. So what we are trying to help you is to know how those names come about. For instance, let's say there was this normal you have in office. So the last year we had murder at the party, or murder at the office, or something, or death by whiskey, something like that. Remember, it's you summarizing that this person was killed by intoxication, or he was strangulated or something, right? Because it is your own professional opinion as the chief analyst that this person is not live because there's no life in him. But let me just do some movie. There's a movie I watched. If the guy started at the movie, you will see the cut. So I'm telling you. Things are happening in this world though. Like you can go to a movie, like God won't even come out. I don't know. But you start having internal bleeding, like basically. So when they will come until one investigator now said that this is consistent with everybody with this same kind of murder, this thing. So let them check for internal. That's why they start the autopsy and checking for internal blood clots. Discover I was. And now started tracing what kind of people had that skill set. Remember history, ancient samurais, and said, well, we are not in 18 something. Why are they still here? And I started tracing a clan to Japan that started training them again, but they were not professional assassins. But that's all those things. All right, so go ahead now, place. So you see, you are now inside the crime scene because there's a box behind you. So now, use your phone and take a picture because that will guide us as we summarize. Now remember, hello, when you take your pictures, pay attention. Remember, I'll just step out. You might never come back here again. You might, so everything you will need, even a small jot, a small sketch. What it does is that you can go through a crime scene and you just go through it and any metallic objects will cling to it. For instance, this is a metal. This is a magnet. Alright? Same with this. Right? Good. Now for triples, that's why we have this non-invasive magnets and cover. So you see, you have like a, of course, large size magnet. So you just scan it through. Everything that is Pino in his pocket, or even the ones you didn't know were there, this magnet will be pushing yourself there. And you will know that there's something. Maybe the knife is under him. Maybe something metallic is under him and you can find it. Are we together? Now, these are the things you come with in your car because you always expect that crime will happen somewhere. That time I used to think that one day I'll be passing and I'll see crime scene and I'll stop. I don't even have mind to stop, so I don't know who will shoot me. So, but then, this is all you have, and we'll go to the class. Because from here now, it's assumed that you collected your this thing, you will go to crime scene. This is also where you, if you are permitted, you will swipe off the blood, check for hair, check for things, maybe chewing gum, check for things you can use, check for his hands, so you use a tape. Sorry. So we call it fingerprint tape. See it here. Yeah, sorry. All right. So, assuming you see fingerprints on him. Eh? No, but yeah. So you just place it like this and tape it. Just to get fingerprints on him. Now there are dead cells on every human being. If I do this on your skin, I'm cutting your DNA. Not because it is unusual, but now we have technology that can sequence even to the smallest cell. You don't have to do much. You have an automated DNA extraction machine. You don't have to do anything. Just collect it and just put this thing inside a tube. Place it out inside the tube. Prepare it and put it in the Automate Express. In 30 minutes, it gives you a DNA. Then you run it. You will know whether this thing, even if the face was cut off, and you don't see anything, you will know whether this person is a male or a female first. Because sometimes people have accidents and they die and they are born. So you don't know who is who. So you just pick out any part of the body and find DNA from. And first of all, they want to do will say whether it's animal or human being. Basic or plant cell. Because some women, when they catch them from things that are not good, they tend to bring their urine for testing. You know what they will do? Oh, you didn't know? They will go and find dog. The dog will. So now the technology has come. Before we even start wasting our money to sequence, we put it in one studio to tell us that this thing now is not human being, human sample. Very sharp. So tell your husband to go and ask you, or to hold you like this and collect the urine. My boss.
So I got the question.
Yes.
All these footprints now,
Yes.
are they also like evidences? Like
So they are footprint parts. Either you collect them or you photograph them. Now hear me. Every shoe manufacturer has to register their footprint. I don't know about the other country, right? We can take this picture now and put on Amazon and say who's manufacturing it. They tell the manufacturer of this thing. That's why most shoes they put this thing on it. Like that, they put plaques here. Do you see? It's because in crime evidence, when we find a shoe and you don't have a fingerprint and it's your shoe, you can be sued. Because you were able to hide crime. That's everything around you can be used to find you. Unless you go around naked, which of course is also okay for us. Okay, so we'll talk about international police. So the reason why countries sign bilateral agreements, MOU, joint treaties, is that if you stay in Nigeria and go out, once your face appears in airport in Madagascar, Interpol will flag Nigeria that you have crossed Madagascar.
Wait, from your freedom and get your
Okay, let me give you an idea. The governor is coming here tomorrow, right? One of the projects he will inaugurate when the commission this thing is we are cataloging every prisoner in Enugu State prisons. Number one, that's the first. All of you are criminals now, so you don't have rights. So we collect all your data and keep. In case you do it again, we can reference you quickly or your brother. Okay, let me say this. I hope you know that if your brother steals by proximity to a thief, right?
Yes.
That's how the government behaves now. The government begins to monitor you. Okay, let me give you an idea. There's somebody that shot people, I think 3 years ago and died. He was killed. The boy, he started planning to shoot again in Montgomery in US. FBI was already on the watch. They went to collect him when he bought his first gun. Why? We've been monitoring for the last 3 years. Yeah. That's how serious countries behave. So that thing will not happen again. And in case, maybe I don't know which divide you are on, the reason why Donald Trump is struggling is because America has become a country where foolishness thrives. In America before, even if it's 50 years, they will catch you. But now, somebody can just come and drive or go and shoot people in the school and go home. It didn't happen before. So now that they banned us from getting visa, I'm happy because I have visa. Okay? So in case you're not able to travel, that's fine.
But do we put all these yellow things on each of the footprints? Do we have to?
It's your choice to put now. I'm not the one that puts it now. You can put, as I'm saying, you can put because if you think, for instance, this shoe print is different from this shoe print, it means that it was not one person that came here. Maybe two people killed this person. Now, you can check his shoes and compare the footprints. If it is not the same, then something happened. Or if his shoes are missing, then why is the shoe missing? You start looking around if the shoe if it's missing, it means that the shoe is important to these two people. Are you getting what I'm saying? Everything that is a crime scene is what makes you now think. That's why you have forensic psychologist or analyst. Analyst means that you're able to analyze and think beyond the normal realm of thinking. Because somebody can say, oh, they don't shoot at home. Yeah, sorry. But then why are you looking and say, why is his hand almost detached? Was there a fight? Because normally, oh, okay, maybe they were fighting. Okay, the question is, what were they fighting for when you go to his hand? Was he holding on to something really with his life that they had to break off his hand to get it from him? Maybe cause him pain. It is that's why it can take 2 years to solve a case. Because you are just, every day you are just putting pictures and solving, like putting puzzle. I don't know how many people watch a lot of serious things, right? You are solving, once you get an evidence, it leads to the next probable one, to the next, to the next, to the next. And most times, it is very easy to find it because people don't really know that you can leave evidence with anything. But you see, the problem is this. When you don't have a country that has a forensic law, as we are finding you have now, you can do all those work. And somebody will come and say it's AI. And the judge will laugh and say, it's AI now, why are you bringing it to us? So that's what you want to be afraid of. All right.
What about us that this is what we
For now, we are training, right? Normally, you wear shoe cover. Have you come to that building before? You are supposed to have gone there today, but they are walking out. Eh? Paul, from who? All right. Yes, ask. Let's hear it happen.
In a situation, the place is sandy.
Sandy.
Yes.
That's why you take a picture. So sometimes rain also has fallen. So the crime has degraded. But the first thing is to, first of all, the first thing I said is to come here and observe. First thing is observe. Second one is do what? No.
Examine.
Examine. Check around. Because examination is very important because you want to know what is important and what. Remember, you're not carrying this thing around. It's in the morning that police will arrive in the morning. This thing. You saw it first. But you want to examine and say, what's going on here? This person is dead though. Come and check for calls. That's why you also have gloves in your this thing. Check for calls. This thing is dead. What happened? Look around. There's nothing. You first of all document the time when you arrive and check and say, oh, as at this time, this chap was dead. Time of death. TOD. Hello.
Hi.
The one I'm talking now, if you have watched some of this, you will not be having Because in movie they use a lot of all these acronyms, and you probably don't know what it means. That's what I'm saying them, right? They will not put them. Then they will say, what that again? Type of death, and the reason of death, like what killed the person. So type of death might be, from what you said, initial expert analysis might be strangulation, because you check there's no blood, but you see blood coming out. Or what if they use a twine to cut his neck, tiny that he had to do that from iota or something. You've not done it, but you say it seems to be strangulation because you are seeing a line on his neck and all of that. So after all that, you file that document and keep. For us now, we have developed an app for Setfosi that people who are admin can do it on their phone. So you take a picture and start doing it. After you do it, you don't upload it. So even if police come and start harassing you, we have already collected a copy to file. That's because we know that things can be fishy too. Suicide. Good. After everything, the suicide we will know. There's a series called Blacklist, right? You watch Blacklist. When you have this guy watching his leg, then you watch a lot of people. It was so good that a lot of people picked it. And that movie tells you a whole lot about how to cover up crime. But hear this. The guy who can kill people and dissolve people, and you know how grief is, right? He will pour a whole person inside a bag of grief. Put this inside his briefcase and put it like this. Flat, like out of that flat. And move out with it and go and crash it. Then he will wipe, before he kills anybody, he will cover the hotel room with things carefully. Do everything carefully before you even have to die. And he will dissolve it. After he wraps that whole thing in his briefcase and carries it out neatly. Now hear this. But, you see, when you use chemical to clean out blood, the stench does not go out. Now, there are places in this country you can buy that chemical, that ammonia, that component. That's when you begin to piece a puzzle. Who can sell this chemical and where do they make it? Is it important? Because if it is, let's say, it's use fuel, and they're saying that this person that killed this person from the shoe size is a man, not a woman, unless it is all those women that have large shoes. But then, from this is a man, it's a man that did it. And then the eyewitnesses can tell you, oh, they saw somebody going out with a black gallon. Okay, black gallon fuel. Okay. That means if you have gone far, other people would have seen it. If you have crashed the gallon somewhere, you can now say block down from here to the gate. But from the gate, the man said, the man parked that gallon. That means between here and the gate, the gallon is somewhere. That's why you have bystander, those who were around, those who are here. By the time you finish everything you're doing, maybe it's suicide. Maybe the guy came to donate fuel. This guy from his very bad. I thought the guy was there. Out of fear, he panicked and ran. Dropped gallon and ran away. Right? It's so like that. But in the country on this earth, if you offend the president, you die by suicide. As a union. Or, they're not going to find him before they use a space transfer and find him. It's not even North Korea. Now, or you fall from the window of the hotel somewhere. See, let me see if you don't watch news. By that, you should have known the content I'm talking about. Alright? So, if you are done here, we can go inside and begin to talk.
Wait, to give you a followers last for pictures, please.
Ice pepper fingerprint.
Your thumb, each person, your thumb, and your pinky. This is your last finger, right? And put it on the paper. One side each and one side each. Write your name on it. Your thumb and your pinky on it. While I turn on the TV, there are the white paper. There is a yellow paper with blood, not that one. There's a white paper that is plain. Are we together? There's a yellow paper.
No, I feel like when you do the thumb,
Then I will this thing. They go extract them. If too much and touch them, how you want to move? Now this thing go use this thing. No.
Is this thing?
But the way.
When you come to class,
As it starts tomorrow, the parents, I know he will come here, we'll tell you how we started. So please, alright? So that when you come here,